everybody, welcome to my vlog about booking last second and traveling as a solo female to Italy in Europe. So it's made so easy. I just bought a single ticket on a train, followed signs, hopped on, and because I didn't have a working SIM card, I was doing this all from memory and I just wrote things down on a piece of paper. I felt like I was in the 90s. It was great. This was a little complicated. I just remembered I had to keep walking down and then turn left, right, and then left again. But eventually I found it because I looked on Google Maps and I remembered these buildings around my hostel. I'm telling you, we could all do it. Living life without a cell phone? And here we go. So because I was booking everything last second and backpacking, I booked Roma Scout. This hostel was so awesome. The person who runs it is amazing. I'm going to tell you about him more at the end of this video because something actually bad happened to me in Rome. Trigger warning now, but let's continue with the video now. Because I arrived to Rome around 2 p.m., I decided, due to the sun going down at 5:30, that I'll just explore around the neighborhood and wait until tomorrow to actually go into the center of Rome where all the attractions are. So here's me just exploring the neighborhood. Enjoy. The next day, I woke up at 8:30 a.m., quickly got a ticket onto the train, which was so easy. I just walked 10 minutes over and took the train straight to the Colosseum. Can you believe it? It's that easy. You do not need to rent a car. You do not need to get a taxi or anything, guys. And these tickets are around €8. I am shook, shocked, and shaken at these views. It's crazy. So I bought a ticket to explore the Colosseum. That's the lineup over there. So I had to wait a little bit, but it was actually a pretty good price because the ticket also included sightseeing another place. So enjoy these places with me because, wow, breathtaking.
Det skulle da være sejre.
I take that dish. Ne yapacak da?
Kiggesklap. Var med?
Ja, fordi man stillede en stor klods af kejserien foran, og så har man så lidt af tekster. En udsendte klods. Så fik Vita en, og så Colosseum.
So for this bottom section where the gladiators actually were placed right before they fought, you have to pay extra to see this. So if you just go down to this bottom level, you can get a really good view of it. So I just recommend that. It's also cheaper if you don't go down there. But I spent about 2 hours in this place. It was phenomenal. I'm honestly mind blown at how Rome looks, and this is only 2 hours in. And keep in mind, toilets cost money, so always have some coins on you. This guy was here every single day and night. Amazing. Once I took the train into the city center of Rome, I walked everywhere. I'm telling you that everything is so close to one another. Of course, you have to be very fit and able to walk on these very hard roads. Have comfortable shoes, first of all. But honestly, if you are athletic and have a lot of endurance like me and can follow a map, this is amazing, and it's such a money saver. You can check out the cafes, the food, and also walk over to the Trevi Fountain and then the Spanish Stairs. Everything is so close by. Keep in mind though, this was during the off season, and look how crowded it still is. And I think this was beginning of November when I came.
You said that you were going to struggle at ice cream. I knew you would.
This is one of the most historic, put together buildings in Rome. Basically no damage. It's still standing like it did back then. And rookie mistake, of course, because I don't speak the language and I was by myself. Apparently, you can go in this building for free. I'm so sad I didn't check out inside, but I spent a lot of time outside because it was just so breathtaking. So when I come back, I will definitely go there. But yeah, just check out more of walking until I go to my next location.
En 4 días te machacas. No necesitas venir por un mes.
I want to just take this time to mention that beginning of November is pretty chilly in Rome. There was only one day where I felt comfortable enough to wear a dress, but otherwise it was quite cold. But I did also hear that the week before I came was plus 20, so it dropped about 10 degrees Celsius once I arrived. But otherwise, the sun was shining, it was beautiful, so I highly recommend going during the off season. As you can see, I'm able to walk without bumping into people. I'm able to record everything. I feel so safe, and I've heard that there's a lot of pickpocketers here, and also the lineups are so crazy to see these amazing, beautiful places that you have to end up waiting a long time. It was finally time to see my second event of the Forum. I actually had a really hard time finding this place, but I bumped into a girl who was talking in English by herself on the phone, and I interrupted her and I asked her where the Forum was, and she was like, "Oh, I'm heading there right now."
All my roommates
So
have
I actually got to
seen it,
see
except
a
for me.
place with somebody. I made a friend.
So-
So it's that easy.
3 months, a little
Try to
late,
get out of
but
your comfort
hey.
zone to ask questions if you are traveling alone, as a lot of people don't speak English, and I got really, really lucky. But this Forum place is so cool, and it actually came with a ticket of buying the pass to the Colosseum.
Now, just kind of like rediscovering.
Sì, no, Nero originally built on the Palatine Hill together with his other.
And the sun is like hitting it. It's so cute.
Golden hour.
Yeah.
She didn't want to come in?
She's just seen it twice.
Oh.
So she was like, I'm not paying again.
The girl and I parted ways, but right before I left, she told me that this place, if you go all the way to the top, it gives you the most breathtaking views of the entire city for the sunset. So I was just admiring how amazing and massive this place was. Look at it. It's crazy. But to be honest, by this point I was starving and I didn't really want to travel back home on the train as a female by myself, so I decided to eat instead of going all the way out for the sunset. And I knew I was going to be back tomorrow, so I quickly ate spaghetti at a restaurant and I went home. Back to the hostel. Right before bed, I would check Google Maps to see where I have to stop, and this is how easy it looks at the terminal, guys. You just find where you gotta go, and you get off at that spot. And here we are, day 2. The cool thing about churches is they're usually always open, and they are so beautiful and intricate with gold, and I highly recommend going in them. especially this one. This one was so beautiful and precious. Also, if you are afraid of not getting enough footage while you are solo traveling, always find somebody to take photos of you, and usually that person doesn't doesn't satisfy you. So everything is not another person, and another person, and another person, and before you know it, you at least have 3 good photos at a location you would like. But this is also trusting people and finding a good candidate. It's always a hit or miss, but that is the only way I was able to get photos of me while solo traveling. Here's me walking over to the Vatican, smallest country in the world. It is just over the bridge, and at this point, I was clocking in so many steps a day that my legs were hurting, but I thought I needed to spend all day at this Vatican, and I ended up spending 6.5 hours. Can you believe it? This part was a little complicated. I didn't really know where the entrance was, but apparently you had to go all the way around to the other side, around the massive wall that kind of looked like the Great Wall of China, right here, to get a ticket. I highly recommend buying a ticket the day before. It's usually cheaper that way online, and you don't have to really wait in a lineup on the day. So enjoy the Vatican Museum with me. Of course, the famous ceiling painting, you are not able to record or take photos in there. So unfortunately, I will not be giving you that footage, but I highly recommend for you just to go because, oh my God, it's unreal. I just wanted to show y'all how I walked at night. I basically would put my purse inside of my jacket. Here's a look at everything at nighttime as I walked back to the train. So I technically spent a full 2 days in Rome, and I got to basically see everything that I was able to afford and everything that's in the city center. Also getting to see the Vatican City. I highly recommend going for 3 days so you're not as rushed as me and clocking 40,000 steps a day. But most of you will be probably taking buses and more trains than I did, but it is fully doable by foot all day long, and I highly enjoyed this trip. Thank you so much for watching. And here we are, on to the next part. All right, and if you've made it this far, congratulations. But like I said in the beginning of the video, something bad happened to me in Rome. So the trigger warning is happening now at around 3 a.m. once I got home, and I'm about to show you the videos. Here we go. On my way to the only pharmacy that's open at 3:30 a.m. And because I didn't have a working credit card at the moment, I had to book an Uber through the guy that was working at the hostel. At the pharmacy, I just held up this sign that was written for me, and it's getting worse. So, solo traveling is great. Sometimes these things happen. Unfortunately, it was to me on my last day in Rome. As you can see, I'm totally puffed up. This is the reason why I woke up at 3:30 a.m. My leg has gotten worse. And I have not seen the rest of my body, but these are the only 2 spots that are bothering me right now. And I took 2 medications. And due to the language barrier, the guy working at the reception was lovely enough to help me out with everything. So I took one of these and one of these. Due to my anxiety with medication, I'm going to sit out here for a little bit just in case. And this all started happening at 3:30 a.m. It is already past 5, so I was about to take a train to Venice in a few hours. So, because it is 9 a.m., the pharmacists are open now, so I went to one that was open, and they saw my leg for 1 second, and they said I need a doctor. She handed me a pamphlet that basically has like an emergency doctor who comes to you, so guess I'm not making my train to Venice, and instead I'm gonna get looked at. The doctor came at noon hour and told me that I was poisoned by an ancient Roman plant. I ended up catching my train to Venice, and check out my next vlog about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm so sorry for the disgusting photos, but it happens. It happened to me, and I am okay now. Thank you so much for asking.